Okay, so as you can see, I am actually back in my old style. I really I can't I can't use the blue system that I was using before. It just was kind of driving me nuts. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. And so let's see, what's that say? Pencil? Ratcliffe. Oh, okay, I got it. All right. So I wasn't really so yeah. Basically to keep up with that little train of thought, the window for my clip studio was too small, and I like to just work at the zoom level, I guess, or size that I feel comfortable with. I don't want to have to think all the time, oh gosh, if I do it at too if I do it at too if I do it at my normal if I do it at my normal size, I guess, it's going to be too small for YouTube because it's only in that little tiny window. So, I don't like trying to think about it the entire time that I'm working on something. So, I don't have my reference up right now, and in fact, this is really good because you can see it. In the old style, it was just showing Clip Studio. It wasn't even showing window layers or anything like that. It was just, I don't know. There's a lot of problems with it. So, that's fine though. I'm gonna work on it like this. And if in my free time I come up with a different way, if I can figure out how to make my own, whether it's just through uh, manual process, or if I can use some kind of combination of chat GPT, or not chat GPT, like mid journey or runway or something, and I can make my own sort of animated thing. Cause I, let me show you what I really like. I'm going to bring it up in a second. So this one is not exactly the one that I want to use. And of course there would be windows in here, but I might be able to use an AI to kind of do variations. Like I think this is really flat. I don't like this particular tree. But if I could use AI to kind of make the shadows on the road move as if clouds were moving, and I could kind of make the grass in the foreground rustle, blow in the wind, and maybe just a little bit of swaying of the power lines or the leaves on the trees, just give it some life and just have it loop. I could use that, and then I could even hand draw like vines and leaves that go around a window, and I could just kind of make my own custom sort of thing, which is what I would like to do. I think ultimately making my own is going to be it's really going to be the only way to make it really work, I think. And but because I'm not going to be able to find someone, like I'm not going to be able to find one that I can purchase that is going to really do justice to what I want to do. And at the same time, I don't want to rely on someone else to give me something, because if I want any changes, I'm basically kind of screwed. I want to be able to have the ability to make and edit the things that I want. And so the ones that I've been using before, until I used the blue one more recently, those were all like I made them by myself. And I'm still not sure if I want to use Streamlabs. I'm just using OBS right now. I have a filter. I have a filter, a limiter filter, and I think that's actually going to be the best because it's in Streamlabs too. So even if I were live, or if I were live, I'd still be able to use the limiter. And I think that's really what's been making the difference. As far as I can tell, I'm not clipping. The limiter definitely helps, but I'm not seeing anything in the red when I look at my levels. And that's red is bad. So green is too quiet. And maybe if you're speaking quietly, and red is bad. Yellow is pretty much where you want to be as much as possible. So I'm just kind of putting some areas where I think shadows might go, and maybe even something up like here. I'm just kind of eyeballing it for right now. Yeah, I mean, this isn't very exciting. I wanted to have him puff out his chest. So I might even try doing something where I do a warp. I don't know if that's going to work. And it's okay if it doesn't. I can just, so I'm going to go to edit, transform, and mesh transformation. And let's see if I can bring his chest out. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, and I got way faster internet. It's the fastest I'm able to get, but my actual computer is still pretty. I don't want to say it's crappy. It's not really like it's not terrible. It's just, it obviously can still do the things that I want to do, but it would be so nice if I could kind of upgrade the RAM and the graphics card specifically. I'm still using a really old, like 11 or 12-year-old. Is it? I don't know. An Apple Cinema display, and it's pretty old, but you know what? It still works great. I still love the colors and the size. I mean, it has gigantic bezels, but why do I care about that? I don't. I don't care about that at all. The bezels don't, make any difference to me at all. I just care about what I can see, what I can see on my screen. And I guess on a phone, it might make a difference, but and then let's see. So I don't know if I'm going to keep, I don't know if I'm going to keep these. I don't know if I really want this much shadow. It just depends. So it's a kind of a work in progress, but I'm trying to make it more dynamic, or maybe not dynamic is the word. It's not the right word, but I think if I can add some, I want to kind of give him some, man, I just smacked my lips or whatever when I did that. I do that sometimes, and I'm going to have to kind of focus and figure out why I do that, because that probably doesn't sound the greatest. I still think Gaston's head is too big. I'm not really sure how I want it to look, but for now I'm going to try to make it smaller and more likely match the size of Ratcliffe's head. But yeah, hopefully the audio sounds better with a limiter in OBS, because I've been doing a lot of testing. I know I comment on this a lot, but this is a new device. I just really want to save myself time, and I want to really do. So another thing though is like I said, I want to live stream, but I also am going to be starting a new work from home job on the phone in a couple weeks. And, yeah, I mean, they're going to give me a headset with a microphone and all that, like it, standard kind of call center-y kind of stuff. But I thought if I can just, if I can use my cool fancy studio microphone and a nice pair of earphones, I think that's gonna be more comfortable for me. And with all the settings dialed in directly on the Rodecaster, I don't need any software. And that's the cool thing. Like, yeah, I have a limiter in OBS or Streamlabs, which I won't have. But again, if I'm just doing phone calls and people are listening to me, and I have like a noise gate on, which helps get rid of background noise, like the air conditioner or motorcycles going around outside or neighbors, then it's gonna be a much better experience for the person that I'm talking to. And I have a lot of things that I need to take care of with bills and stuff, but I do hope to have a little bit of extra money here and there to upgrade my computer. So not crazy stuff. I'm not going to be getting the fanciest stuff in the world. I'm not going to be getting, high end everything, brand new everything. No, it's mostly going to be old. It's just going to be a lot a lot faster than what I have. So for me, it's going to be a huge upgrade. And I think that's probably, at least for me, that's the way to go is, you know, if I wait a long time to upgrade, then I can get something that's even 2 or 3 or 4 years old, and it's going to be a much cheaper option. But at the same time, because I'm using a 7, 8, 9, 10 year old, whatever, if I'm getting something that's 5 years newer than what I have, even if it's not the new, even if it is 3 or 4 years old, it's still a huge step up from what I'm using. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, but do you understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same thing with like I have an Apple Watch 4, Series 4, and I got this in 2000, probably 18, maybe 2017, whenever that came out. I know where I lived when I got it, so I know I know kind of I know it was one of those 2 years. And what, they're on Series 9 or 10, I think by now. I don't have any need to get a new Apple Watch. Like mine works totally fine. Like literally it does everything I need it to do. However, I would love just recently. I don't know where I saw it, and I wish I didn't have this kind of brainworm where I'm thinking about it, because I honestly really, I gotta be focused on paying off my bills. I can't, keep spending money and then making new things to check off my list, and new um, kind of milestones to pay and stuff. But I really do think I deserve at least a new graphics card. I guess the RAM I don't really need. It's not that important. Actually, the graphics card may not even be that important either. So, I'm probably not going to do it, at least not for a while, until I feel like I have to, like everything is suffering. But even then, I'm going to try to not do it, because it's easy to justify spending money on things that you don't actually need, and telling yourself that you do need them, or I deserve them. Oh, I did so much work. I deserve something, a reward. I deserve something better. But man, I've been looking recently at these Garmin watches. Like there's one called the Phoenix 8, and they're on the Phoenix 8 and 8 Pro. I guess the Pro just came out recently, like within the last 2 weeks. And but I was looking, okay, I'm not going to get that, because that's $1,199. Can you believe it? That's insane. But I guess these days everything's getting more expensive. The the 7 Pro, and they have like a solar sapphire, so it can charge via solar, and it's got like sapphire is like this protective coating on the glass on the screen. And it says in smartwatch mode, the battery lasts 15 days. And in GPS mode, the battery lasts 29 days. Like I'm so used to an Apple Watch that I'm charging like I can't make it 2 days on a single charge. Usually at the end of one day of just regular use, all I really use is the alarm. I'm down to like 12, 16%, something like that. And, I don't really use it for anything except my alarms. And, mm, I mean, really, to be honest, like the alarm clock is what I use way more than anything else to take my breaks and lunch, and, pick my wife up and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't really need even, I mean, but yeah, geez, 2, 3, 4 weeks of battery life, and then all you need to do is go out into the sun and charge it with the sun with solar. Like that's so cool. And then a couple other things I really like about it specifically is that it has 32 gigabytes of storage, and you can just drag and drop MP3 files or M4V files or whatever, and you can listen to your music or your workout stuff or podcasts, and you can listen to all that stuff offline. And you don't need like a Spotify premium that lets you download songs. You can just literally just download a song from YouTube, like, or whatever. You can take any audio file and just drag and drop it, just like anything else. You don't. It's like you can't do that on an Apple Watch. I've looked into it. There was a period where I was like kind of obsessed with it. I did the mouth clicking thing too again, so that's annoying. That's just a microphone technique type of thing. It's not a software setting or anything like that. I'm sure I could get rid of it in post if I wanted to, but the whole thing is I'm really trying to just kind of get rid of the whole post-production thing. I'm really trying to work on speed by just recording and knowing that it's good enough to just hit record, make a thumbnail and upload it. Like, that's it. And so let's see. But I think this is way better for me to just basically do my art videos in OBS, just screen capture, just plain. And then I am going to put it into my little kind of my standard little backdrop like I had been doing before with the windows and, I'm probably just going to go ahead and put my little timer down in the bottom as well. I guess you'd be seeing that by now. So there's going to be a little bit of editing, like a very small amount. I don't think I'm going to put any music in the background. I might, we'll see. And this is always a work in progress, but right now I just kind of want to focus on getting videos out there of me working on this poster. So, whatever. It's content. It might be boring, but real-time art, I think, is boring, to be honest. Like, that's why a lot of people that's why nobody does it. Like at Disney California Adventure and is it Hollywood I think it's Hollywood Studios at Disney World. They have these artists who basically their whole job is just to draw Disney characters. And then, they sell the art, like original artwork of whatever Beast or some kind of a, Donald Duck or Goofy or whoever it happens to be. And it's like, that's cool. It's an actual original piece of art from a Disney artist. And it's like, it's really cool. And you can watch the person draw in real time. You can just sit there and watch. But I would say most people might watch for like 30 seconds, or if you're really into it, you might watch for like 5 minutes. But it's probably not the most comfortable thing for the artist to know someone's just standing right behind them, watching every move. And even if it is comfortable for them, the person, come on, the person's at Disney or maybe downtown Disney, and you're not actually, paying for entry. But the point is, like, you got other things to do. You got shopping, you got dining, you got attractions to ride or whatever. And it's just like, who wants to really just sit there and watch someone do that? Like, I don't know. Maybe people do. And if those people are watching this video, then I'm not trying to say anything, at all negative about the process. I just mean, like, even for me as an artist, I would probably watch real time of someone like Joe Madureira or Humberto Ramos, or of course, Todd McFarlane or Greg Capullo. But, for the most part, I don't like, Ethan Van Sciver. He recently had like a draw stream where he and some of his artist friends were drawing DC characters. And I guess they were kind of talking, but mostly it was it's kind of like a talk and draw stream. And I checked it out for, 2 minutes. And then I was like, whatever. I'm not just going to sit here and watch these people draw these characters. Like, I have my own stuff to do, I don't have a lot of time to just sit there and watch people's videos. I listen to videos while I'm working all the time, but to sit there and watch, like, I don't know. It's background stuff. So, like hearing me ramble right now, I'm just kind of talking and yapping, and I got nothing really important to say. I'm just talking as I go. I think you would probably know this by now if you've seen any of my videos. I can talk for a while about probably nothing very interesting, but yeah, it's like this AI stuff, man. I want to make like overlays myself, and I think the animation would be handled really well, but I don't know which one to use. And I don't think there's probably any tutorial on how to do this specifically. And then you can't do any like free trial basically, as far as I know, or at least I couldn't, because I've used these before already. And it's like, do I want to sign up for a monthly? I'm not going to do a yearly plan for sure. I mean, it's a better deal. Absolutely. You're going to save a lot of money, but I still don't want to spend $100+ you know, because right now I'm really kind of gung ho about trying to make my own cool animated, forest kind of overlay thing. But let's say I get that done and it looks awesome in a few days. Well, then what? Now, what am I going to do now? I've got like 11 and a half more months of this AI, and I got nothing to do. I mean, I could, if I really figured out a plan, I could try to make a couple extra overlays and then like put them on Gumroad and sell like a package geared toward maybe other artists or video gamers or streamers of some form or another. I don't know, but I'm not going to do that. So, and it's like, I can't have someone do one custom for me. I feel like I have the skills to, use my own art plus AI to make something really cool. I just need to figure out which one, and then I don't know. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I think the audio probably is dialed in pretty well right now. I think it's probably loud enough. I did a test earlier, and I didn't quite like it. It was okay. It was pretty good. I wasn't necessarily complaining, but it still wasn't quite where it's like, it's such an art to try to, or not an art, it's a technical skill to, to get the audio loud enough, but where it doesn't clip. And then you also kind of have to take into account, for the most part, like, what about when, if like, thankfully I don't get really excited on a stream. Like, this is just me drawing. I'm not going to like jump up and down like my team just scored a touchdown. But um, yeah, you got to take into account when someone's talking quietly and then maybe they just suddenly get excited. I think that's what the limiter is for. Like, man, it's a lot. I've learned a lot, but I still get a lot of my information from Chat GPT, and I'm just like, it explains really well, like, this is what this is for, and this will do this. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, and now I understand what the limiter is and what the compressor is and what gain is and what output gain is, and blah, blah, blah. But then, a little bit like Duolingo, like, after I close that window or the next day, I'm like, I don't really remember what I just learned yesterday. And of course, I think if I kind of took the time to really kind of learn it, I think I would understand. Like, I understand actually a lot more than I used to. Like, for example, attack is how quickly is how quickly a, like, the I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to try to explain it, but you can look things up like attack, release, threshold, gain, compressor, limiter. There's all kinds of different things. And, for me, it's like, all I really need is to dial in the audio settings for me. I'm not trying to go to someone's house and like fix their audio or make tutorials. I just need to know what are the best settings for me and the way I talk. I'm going to try to hit a mute button to see what happens. Okay. I wonder if that went through. I just cleared my throat. So I'm working on his hat. I'm going to do a little line right there, just kind of so I can go back and listen to this later and see what happened. I cleared my throat. And I think I'm almost done with this. I like to try to kind of keep my videos to about 25 minutes. Maybe if I was live streaming, I would do it for longer, but I don't know. I think I'm going to lay down, take a nap, because, you know, I work overnight. So it's almost noon. So my sleep schedule is all kind of over the place, and I try to get naps whenever I can, 2 hours, an hour and a half, something like that. It actually helps. It does. It helps a lot. But it kind of sucks. I mean, the job is great. I love the work. I love, you know, how chill it is, how easy it is. But the hours, man, the hours. So this is where I am with Governor Ratcliffe, and I still think he needs to be puffed out a little bit more. I might play around with that. Well, I mean, I'd do it on stream because I want this to all be captured. I want to see, you know, all the steps. So there's Ratcliffe, and then let me zoom up to Jafar. That's what he looks like. Pretty consistent because I'm at 100%. Well, now I'm at 100%. And I think that's probably going to do it. So this is where I am. I'm going to turn these layers back on. I don't need character text. And that's where I am. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, just subscribe. That would be cool. I'd appreciate that. And let me know how the audio is specifically. Leave a comment. YouTube loves comments, apparently. And wish you guys a good day. Thanks so much for checking in. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.